Orgasmic enlightenment, where the sexual and spiritual come together. I'm Kim Anami, and I'm a holistic sex and relationship coach and a vaginal weightlifter. In this show, we explore all things intimate. I believe that our sexual energy is life force, creative energy, and we can use it to shape our worlds, strengthen our relationships, and self-actualize. I blend the most avant-garde information from neuroscience, ancient sexual practices like Tantra and Taoism, to renegade wellness modalities to show you how to create gourmet sex in your lives. Come one, come all. No Nut November, blue balls or ballistic? How is your No Nut November going? For those of you who may not know, what exactly is No Nut November and why would you care? No Nut November is a challenge issued to men to abstain from porn use during the month of November and from masturbating. First off, abstaining from porn and relinquishing it entirely is a fantastic, very Anami-endorsed idea. I fully support this for various reasons, like dopamine and testosterone depletion with the constant jerking off that leads to erectile issues. More and more younger men, as in 20-somethings, are turning to Viagra because of this. Dopamine especially comes into play by constantly increasing the arousal threshold, where it takes more and more intense mental and physical stimulation to get off. The dissociative effect of constant fantasy use and eventually requiring fantasy always, even during intercourse with a real-life woman. You desensitize the cock, and some people even suggest that porn is an access portal for vampiric energies to enter into your system. So, quitting porn is its own unique pursuit, which I highly recommend. The whole NoFap and semen retention concepts have been talked about more and more, even in mainstream circles these days. And in that, exposing a lot of ignorance about how male bodies work, even apparently from men. So let's define some of these terms here first. NoFap. This is a movement started to encourage men to stop masturbating, especially in conjunction with porn use. Men who committed to this found benefits in everything from increased energy levels to better mental focus. We could easily say that this is a direct kickback from excessive porn use over the last decade and the depleting effects it's had on men, that this has actually started a movement of men being aware of the effects of a lot of masturbation. So there was even a study suggesting that testosterone levels went up through the practice of NoFap. I don't put too much stock in studies, but I do put stock into objective and anecdotal experience. What happens when men ejaculate? They pass out. They are so exhausted by the act of spewing their seed that it's, "Help, I've fallen and I can't get up." When I work with men to cultivate their chi and to build this energy and learn to separate orgasm from ejaculation, they literally want to run marathons after they have sex. We have an actual episode about this. One of our well-fucked all-stars is a bona fide ultramarathoner, and he sought me out after he heard me say that men ought to be able to run a marathon after sex. He thought, well, I'd like to run one before and after. Sign me up. This episode is called Marathon Man, Marathon Cock, and you can find it in Season 5, Episode 26. So another term in this world is semen retention. This could be considered the origins of the idea that too much, and some would argue that even any, ejaculation depletes men. This idea has been talked about in ancient cultures from Indian Tantra to Chinese Taoism for millennia, as in about 5 of them. We even see echoes of these concepts 2,000 years ago in Western medicine with Galen and Hippocrates expertise talking about the humors and fluids of the body as being precious resources that we ought not to waste, including male ejaculate. The body puts all of this time and energy into making every ejaculation that has the capacity to create new life. When men are busy ejecting all of that energy out of them willy-nilly, it takes a toll. They weren't talking about this from a moral standpoint, but more from an energetic one, suggesting that men be more judicious when it comes to their emissions. So how do you do this? Well, you can have all the sex you want, but you don't ejaculate. And by most people's definitions, semen retention also includes not having an orgasm. I have seen men totally misread these concepts, thinking that semen retention means no sex. No. You can have all the sex you want. You simply learn to become masterful about when and if you ejaculate, which is a worthy goal for any man. As I always say, the most important sexual skill for every man to master is to be in full control of when they ejaculate and being able to go for as long as he and she want to. As for the to come or not to come question, I offer a better solution, and this would be orgasm without ejaculation. Now we are getting into Anami land. You can have all the sex and orgasms you want, but you do not lose any of your seed. This is definitely an acquired skill, but once you learn it, you will never go back. I have yet to meet a man who has successfully learned to orgasm without ejaculation, and then he was just dying to go back to be a two-pump chump and spending half the day jerking off to porn. It just doesn't happen. With this approach, men can have sex and feel so much more energized. They can go for hours and they leap out of bed feeling like they can conquer the world. And they do. They are mentally acute, creatively overflowing, and their business acumen on point. Their athletic game is seriously upped. Anthony, who is the well-fucked all-star and literal ultramarathoner in the Marathon Man, Marathon Cock episode, attributes his new sexual skills to his elevated success, running some of his best race times ever because of it. You get to have off-the-charts orgasms, bigger, stronger, and more pleasurable than ever. You can pleasure your woman ad infinitum, going the distance and taking her into G-spot and cervical orgasms. These deeper vaginal orgasms require extended penetration, which you cannot get to if you are bailing early. The other key thing that you do in this practice is that you are constantly building dopamine versus depleting it. The more you linger in the territory pre-orgasm / ejaculation, you are increasing your dopamine production. If you stop before going over the edge into ejaculation, you harvest all of that high quality, cocaine high and superpowered energy, and then you channel it into your life. That's why men who do this practice talk about all of the things they achieve in various areas of their lives, from their athletic prowess to becoming business titans. One of the big myths, well, there is some truth to it, I suppose, that men assume will happen if they don't come, and again, let's differentiate between orgasm and ejaculation, is that they will get blue balls. If you are just stopping mid-thrust and not doing any kind of breathing or conscious redirection of that energy, then yes, you definitely could have some blue ball symptoms, but not in Anami land. I show men how to recirculate their energy so they have it available for use in the world, and it's not just sitting in their balls, wasting and throbbing away. They channel that energy into their woman, the gym, their kids, and building a legacy. If you want to dive deeper into the whole orgasm without ejaculation topic, check out these episodes. Semen retention, what's all the fuss? Season 6, episode 25. And all men can orgasm without ejaculation. It's the Anami guarantee. Season 4, episode 28. In each of these, I interview one of our well-fucked all-stars who has mastered this technique. And of course, check out Anthony's episode, Marathon Man, Marathon Cock, which is season 5, episode 26. And of course, I deliver the goods on how to do this in my Sexual Mastery for Men salon and in the Coming Together for Couples salon. You can find my full salon program at kimanami.com. Look for Sexual Savant Salons, and then you can sign up for the free video series and get on the wait list to be notified of when we open each of these salons again. Thank you so much for listening. Subscribe to the podcast, leave a review, and send somebody else the gift of a multi-orgasmic and transformational love life by sharing this episode with them. If you'd like to go deeper into all things orgasms, sign up for my free Orgasmopedia series, where you'll learn about 9 different types of orgasms everyone can have. Go to kimanami.com and you'll see the sign up there. Come one, come all.